Hey, guys. Welcome to Sober Talk. How are you? We're trying some new stuff out. We got some new gear here, and hopefully, Carrie saved the day. Carrie came in yesterday when no one was here because she doesn't want to get the COVID, and which is good because Michelle, one of our workers, her whole family kind of got the COVID, and it's god awful. And so thoughts and prayers going out to Michelle, and I'm trying every day trying to figure out these earbuds. There has to be a way where they go in. So anywho, let's see if anyone's going to get here. We got 16 people here already, and let's give it a second for people to catch up and catch on and stuff. And yes. All right. So, hey, guys, you are here because you want to get sober, you need to get sober, or perhaps you're just sober curious. Whatever the reason may be, I am glad that you're here. So, how do you know if you have a drug or alcohol problem? It's real easy if it causes problems. So, maybe you're like me, you got your check liver light came on, you went to the doctor, you pressed on your liver, and an Uber pulled up. You know, you can't ignore the signs. You can't. And maybe you've decided that you do love your family more than you do your the alcohol. And if that's the case, that's great. That's great. We are not doctors. I'm 6 months. I think Jeff is 9 or 10 months sober, and we're just here and we're just talking. And we have a James that comes in on Fridays. James owns a treatment facility, and he's been very instrumental in getting some of our callers, helping them figure out if they have Medicaid or private insurance or whatever, or even if they don't, he's good at finding them a place wherever they're located or sending them to a different state or whatever. So we got a good thing going here, and so we're very excited about everything that's going on. Let's get right to the phones. We got you guys saw in the description, if you would like to text us your name and number. We have what Jeff calls the sober cell, and you can text us your name and number, and we'll call you. And I've already said that we got a couple here, but let's start with Autumn. Autumn is I've spoken with her. She's a very very cool chick. Let's see what we got with her. It's cold and rainy in Louisville, and it's almost 70 in Hilton Head down at the beach. So kind of want to go
Hello.
down there. Hey, Autumn, it's Tom Mabe with Sober Talk. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm well. So, how you been? You've not spoken. We've spoken before, right? We got a mutual friend.
Yeah, we do. We have a mutual friend who also who's had some struggles when it comes to addiction, and that's kind of how I think we met. So
Yeah, I was looking
yeah,
for advice, and he'd say, "Hey, man, talk with my friend Autumn." And so, bring us up to speed. How have you been? Straight and narrow? Have you fallen off a little bit, or what? Tell us about your journey and kind of what happened.
yeah. Ah, well, I've been sober for I guess it's a little over a year now, about 13 months.
Wow, congrats.
Yes, thank you. It's the longest. Let's see, I'm 36, and I don't think I've been sober this long since probably about 14, maybe a little bit older.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what
So,
was your weapon of choice? Was it alcohol? Was it drugs? A little bit of both, or what?
I always like the uppers. My thing is, at the end, it was alcohol as well, and that's kind of whenever, I knew it was getting crazy is when I couldn't stop the alcohol because I've always been able to stop that. Um,
And what you
and
said uppers? I'm an idiot.
yeah,
What's an upper? Is that like speed?
stimulants, yes. I like anything that's gonna get me going. So I like cocaine, I like the amphetamines. I got
I hate
yes,
cocaine. I love the smell of it, but I hate cocaine.
really
That's a joke. I love the smell of
cocaine.
cocaine.
Oh, I get it.
So anyway,
I get it. I get
uh,
it. Yeah.
no, alcohol's been my weapon of choice since I was 20, 21.
Yeah.
But you could always quit alcohol, but you got to a point where you couldn't quit it. And tell us,
Yeah.
how did you stop? How did you do that? How did you navigate? Did you white knuckle it? Did you just go, okay, I'm done, or what? Or did you try that at first and try something else?
Yeah, I mean, it was the same thing at the end whenever my husband actually, he's in recovery as well. And so he, I found this thing called the alcohol experiment. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Did you
Um,
say the alcoholic experiment?
the alcohol experiment.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So it's online and it's through like the Naked Mind, I think, and it's you try to go 30 days without drinking, and it's got some stuff that goes along with it. And he did that a couple times, and then he actually quit kind of cold turkey and did that. And I kept trying to quit, and I just couldn't. I'd make it to about maybe day 2, day 3 miserably, and I'd be so hateful to be around that I'd kind of probably cause an argument and then take off and kind of start that cycle again. And so it was about a week before Christmas of 2019, and I was miserable. Everybody around me was miserable.
Right, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I ended up going to a place in Texas called Makana Path, and my husband found.
Jamie's mentioned that place. That place has a good speaking of has a good track record. It sounds like.
Yeah. So I'm a chronic relapser, and that was kind of, I think that's kind of their one of their, they shine for that. So.
And that was how long ago? Was that a year ago? About a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was before Christmas, not this past year, but the year before, so a little over a year ago.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they, I think, have more of just a holistic approach. I'd been, let's see, that was my 3rd or 4th rehab throughout my lifetime. And you get to the point where you know what you're supposed to do, and it's just about doing it, but also it was deeper than that. I think they're finding more and more, it's not just stopping the drugs or the alcohol. A lot of times there's a lot underneath that, and it's more about figuring out what all that stuff is and kind of getting to the bottom of it.
Hey, and hold that thought 1 second, guys. Hold that thought 1 second. 1 second. All right. I forgot to hit record. Apologize about that. So,
That's all right.
So you went to Makana Path as a holistic type thing. They had did they have to wean you off? Did they have a medical component to that facility as well? Or was it
they have a detox. They have medical detox there. So I did that in-house there. I think it was maybe 3-4 days. Actually, probably a couple days longer than that.
And was it? And were you? Was it? And I apologize if you already said this.
You're good.
Were you detoxing from the alcohol or the stimulants or both?
So I'm sure it's probably both. Whenever you were drinking as much as I was for as long as I was, they kind of that's the part that they worry about is the alcohol, just because of everything that can go along with that.
Right,
so
right.
I think whenever I got there, I tested positive for cocaine, amphetamines, and alcohol. You drink all the way down there. You're going into treatment. You're
yeah.
So that's kind of what they were. I think they put you on anti-seizure medicine because the alcohol is that's no joke. Whenever you're coming off of that,
you could die from that and benzos. They say. And tell me, what's a benzo? Was that like a Klonopin or something, or what?
That's not my deal, Tom. I'm like I said, I'm the upper. So
what is a benzo?
I don't know. I feel like it's like I think you're right. I don't know. There's Google.
Because they say you could die from alcohol and benzo.
And benzos. Yes, I have heard that. So.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Well, okay. So you were at Makana Path, and was that a 7-day, 13-day, 3-month thing, 1-month thing? How long were you there?
It's a 21-day program, but they asked me to stay a couple weeks longer. So I think in total, the programming part, I was there for about 5 weeks.
Okay. Wow.
Which was longer I've ever stayed at any place before. And I don't know the exact statistics, but what they were telling me down there is, if you go somewhere for 21 days, your rate of staying clean or sober is X amount. and for every additional week that you stay, I mean, it increases something crazy. Like I said, I don't
Wow.
remember the statistics, but
Wow.
um, and at that point, I'm like, you know what? I always did what I wanted before that, which was leave. The second I was, I did my time, I'm ready to go, and they said we really recommend you
Yeah.
stay here longer. And I was at the point where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try something different. So, I stayed that couple extra weeks,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it was totally worth it.
Oh, good. And so, so once you got out, are you working some type of structured program? Are you AA in it?
Yeah,
Are you got a therapist, or what are you doing?
all the things, man. The more the merrier. Like, I am messed up to the core, and I've been messed up for a long time. And so, it's not just about not using and drinking. It's for me, I don't want to be miserable while I'm not using or drinking. So let's figure out, all that underlying stuff. And although 5 weeks have really started digging into that, but now it's like, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So, I go to AA, I have a therapist, um,
Do
and
you have a sponsor?
I do. I have a sponsor as well. It's funny though because so I got out. I think it was the 29th of January last year from treatment, right?
Right.
And I get home, and it was like 3 weeks into it is whenever Corona hit. So it's like I'm like, crap. I got my shit together, and now the world's gonna end. Um,
That's when I started drinking again. It was
right?
and
Right?
that March area, around there when I start losing all
Yeah.
my gigs and
Yeah.
renters,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, it was
You're stuck
tough.
at home, and
Oh, jeez.
I can't imagine.
It was tough, and I think when you're an alcoholic, you're always looking for an excuse to
100%. Yeah.
start drinking again, or doing something, uh, and I was like, I'm done. I gotta stop. Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I'm freaking out. I just gotta self medicate with something, and
Right. You said you always need an excuse. It's like something bad happens. We're like, let's drink. Something good happens. Let's drink.
oh
We'll
god, yeah,
find
let's
an excuse in
celebrate.
anything,
Man,
right?
we deserve a drink after that.
Right?
Hell yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
Yeah.
know exactly. That's always me, and I think that's how we alcoholics and addicts are wired. Uh, it's such, when we're medicating, it's such a mood altering state, and it's so great dealing with problems. Oh God, this sucks.
Uh,
Though, you have a beer, I'm
right.
gonna sit down and play a game with my kid. This is great. Then all of a sudden, the drugs or the alcohol becomes a bigger problem than the problem you were trying to deal
Oh yeah.
with, and
Yeah.
you're like, wow, I wish I would have not started
Yeah.
this. I'm more miserable now than what I
Yep.
was when I was twiddling my thumbs, not knowing what to do. And sometimes you just gotta embrace boredom, and just remind yourself. A friend of mine, Gary Adams, a fellow musician, and was a sponsor of mine for a little while, and then we realized it just wasn't a good fit. But he said, man, you got to come down to the healing place and just walk
Ooh.
through. And the healing place is a place in Louisville where it's, they take homeless people and people without insurance or whatever that may be,
Yeah.
people and my sponsor, current sponsor, was there for 9 months as a patient.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he said, once you see that and you see where it can go, that first step, admitting that you're powerless over alcohol, and
Mm.
that your life has become unmanageable, and you
Right.
see how unmanageable it can get, where you're in a room
Right.
just shaking and you're, white knuckling it and just trying to stop. And we just forget. Do you think you're done? You think you're done, or at least a little bit longer? Or what do you think?
Am I? What do you mean? Am I done? What?
Are you done? Are you done drinking?
Oh gosh. Lord, I hope so. There says that never say never, but um, I this past year has been, they say once you get sober, you can't imagine the life that you're going to have. And for a long time, I used to avoid life. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't be present. And now it's like, it's, I, I wonder if normal people are this excited about life, honestly. I'm like, dude, is everybody like think that life is this full?
Oh God, isn't that a
Like,
great,
or is
great?
this just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
I
like
know
it's
exactly.
so exciting.
I could totally relate. I had a couple of like aha moments. Like, God, we're going to the office. Like, I've been hitting my little bike. I'm doing this thing in the morning called on this same page. once or twice a week I'll come in, I'll do natural high, and I'll go live and I'll ride my bike for 10 minutes and talk to people, and
Yeah.
it's just a structure thing. I'm like, oh, this
Yeah.
is great. I get off the bike, I'll clean up, and around the office, I'm hanging stuff, I'm repairing equipment that's broken, whatever I have to. I'm like, wow, I'm not just going grabbing a beer.
Right.
So I get it. I haven't had that. I haven't had that aha moment like this is the greatest thing in the world. But I have like, oh my
Right.
gosh, look at all the time I wasted just drinking.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. My husband and I, we did a little weekend away about a month ago, and it was like, oh my gosh, look at how much time we have because had this been, a year and a half ago, it's like you get somewhere, you go to bar to bar to bar to bar. That's what we did the whole time. I'm like, oh, gosh, we were so boring. Like, we're
Right.
so bored with each other that that's all we did. We lived that life. It was just, uh,
So
constant inebriation.
so was there some kind of a stigma to you going away to a treatment facility? And you said you've been 3 times. I know growing up,
Yeah,
he went to rehab.
right.
Yeah, he went to rehab. Is there did you deal with any of that? Did you you know was that anything? I mean, what would you tell someone who has those thoughts in their head right now? And they know they need to get. I spoke with a guy the other day. They took his kids away from him. He hasn't worked, and I said, "Man, you really need to probably get into a facility. Let me help you
Right.
navigate." No, 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 not that bad. Jeez,
Right.
but
Or if you got so much stuff to do, I can't do that. I got to do this and this and this and this. And you're like, nah, dude, you really don't. You're
yeah,
not doing
yeah.
anything. Of course, there's a stigma that goes along with it, but you know what has a bigger stigma is me, high at my kid's basketball game. Like, it's like what shoes are hard, and of course there was that second in time where I'm thinking about it and I'm like, heck, what are people gonna say? Like everybody has that, you're worried about what people think.
Yeah, but you
Um,
got to be selfish and just get
yeah,
right,
a
or just
hundred
spend it
percent.
and love your family and your kids more than you do the drugs and alcohol. Just go freaking
Right,
do it. Tell the kids you're going away on a girls' trip and you'll be back, or
for
whatever
sure.
whatever you have to do. And I had a buddy of mine, she's a doctor, and she went off, and she said she went to Europe for a month to go backpacking because she's
Whatever you
you
gotta
what?
say.
Who cares? Who cares?
Make it interesting. Heck,
Yeah.
if you're gonna go do it, you can make a good one up.
Yeah, and it's funny the people in the medical facility, be it mental or physical or whatever, boy, they're very stressed. It's
Yeah.
one of the highest of addiction and alcohol dependencies, doctors and such like that. So,
Well, it's interesting. You're talking about the healing place, and it got me thinking. It's like I think it's even worse. You look at people that are professionals or people. I was living in a nice house, my husband. Like all this stuff, and so
hmm
we were still functioning, and it's like that. I think adds another layer of going, I'm okay, everything's okay. Like,
yeah, you're not that unmanageable that you like
right.
me. I
Yeah.
always maintain a job and was
Right.
able to deliver and put food on the table. But so.
Behind the scenes, like
Oh,
you still know something's not
oh,
right.
yeah, 100%, 100%. So, well, Autumn, this is man. Thank you so much for talking. So, I need to.
Yeah, no, thanks
But
for
is there
having me.
anything else you want to wrap up with before we call my next caller, or what you thinking?
Uh, Biggest piece of advice is just, you know, do it for you. For a long time, I thought I got to do this for my kids. I got to do this for my husband. And, finally I did something for me. Um, and it was the scariest thing I ever did, but it was also the most liberating. And, when I finally said, yes, I'll go, the weight that was lifted off knowing that I didn't have to fight it and just, go with the flow, man. Just do it.
Okay, okay. Well, I have all these. I have all these numbers, these texts, and somehow this phone, Carrie, is saying I need to put some kind of ID in. And how do I go about doing that? Okay, here you go. All right, Autumn. I'm sorry that I'm
No, you're good.
ADD'd on you there. Got
You're
all the
good.
D's. All right, I will talk with you soon.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
That's my friend Autumn. She went to a facility for 5 weeks, been sober for a year and a half, and she was alcohol and uppers, and she had decided to. She went to her kid's birthday party or basketball game high, and said, you know what, this is kind of ridiculous, and she got some good help. She said she went to rehab 3 times, so that's pretty interesting. So hopefully I'm calling the right number here. Hello?
Please leave your message for.
Well, I guess he didn't want to talk. Want to talk, brother? So, guys, if you want to talk, you can text me your name and number to 502-396-8374, 502-396-8374. You can't call me on that phone, but I will call you from another phone here, and we'll rock it out. And real quick, before I forget, I want to remind everyone about our sponsor. It is KYSBestHemp.com. That's Kentucky's BestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com. I'm kind of a hemp junkie. I know a whole lot about it, and I will tell you these guys are the real deal. And if you go to KYSBestHemp.com, there's a website right there on that lower monitor on that desk there. You can use promo code TOM30 and get 30% off. So that could be really, really cool. Promo code TOM30. Let's read some. Tom's hair looks fantastic. That's either Carrie or Jeff saying that, and I think you're lying. My hair looks awful. Let's see here. Let's see. But my pain is coming from the nerves in my neck. Nerves wrap around the rib. That's Daryl. Daryl, you all right, buddy? And then there's boy, I cannot see Clay. Let's see. Pain on the right rib cage could be associated with the gallbladder. Someone's having some issue with their gallbladder. Here's Eric Drake says, I've been to rehab 4 times and detox 8+ times. Let's see. I was so worried about what other people thought. It's a trick. It's the disease. If you think maybe you should go, then you should go. Never be ashamed to try again. A drug and alcohol life is not the way. And if you want to, so let's see. This guy here just texted me. He said he'd rather not be on air. So I will have to call you after the show, there, brother. So if you want to go on air, just we could use a fake name. He sounds like he could use some help or some camaraderie, some fellowship here. But all right, we'll move on to someone else until he decides whether or not he wants to talk. Let's see. I've got someone else here who said they wanted me to call him, and we will go. Here we go. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I need it tonight. I've kind of been out of pocket. Jeff is doing the Tuesdays and Thursdays and comes down on Wednesday and does a show with me in studio, which is a blessing every time he comes down. It's really cool. And let's see here. All right.
Hello.
Hey, Brent. It's Tom Mabe from Sober Talk. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Tom. How you doing? I'm good.
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing real well. What's happened? You said you're a military vet. Tell me, did you go to rehab or what? Tell us your story.
Well, I was in the Marine Corps from like 2012 to 2016. I guess when I first went in, I'm still young now, but when I first went in, alcohol was just kind of everybody's thing. I was 19, but nobody really cared. We always had a buddy who was old enough, and that's kind of how it started.
And what was your breaking point? When did you decide, all right, I've had enough. I can't do this anymore?
Well, I'd say it was actually this year. I was thinking about, stop drinking, for a while now, but it came to a point to where I was wasting so much money in the bars, and I'd be there about 4 to 5 times a week.
Jeez. Yeah.
and it would turn into, alcohol. Then I'd start doing like, as Autumn said, I'd start doing cocaine. And then, I'd start gambling because I was so intoxicated. I'd just make my way to the casino, and it just that was a bad breaking point for me in the start of it
Now,
all.
wouldn't you say that the gambling is an addiction as well?
Yeah, I would say definitely. Gambling is definitely an addiction.
It gives you that
People,
instant rush, and the endorphins and the dopamines and all that stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about that, but I know that it is a mood altering. It's kind of like jumping out of a airplane with a parachute. It's a natural high. So anything that changes changes or alters your mood. So you would drink, do coke, and go gambling, all three.
yeah, I'd be awake after the bars closed, and I'd somehow manage to make my way to the bars or to the casinos, and I would be there until 6 or 7 in the morning.
Wow. Would you drive home, or would you get a room there at the casino or something?
I probably would end up either driving home or Ubering home, just around 6 or 7 in the morning, and call out sick for work. It would just be a ongoing process where it really just hit a breaking point around that time.
Okay. So so when's the last time you drank or used?
Actually, it was going to be about 20 days ago.
Okay.
I just now recently decided I wanted to just start to live a sober lifestyle. I made it very public about it.
Mm-hmm.
I ever since about 20 days ago is when the last time I did anything at all. So now I told myself that I'm going to be sober for the rest of the year as a starting point for me to see how much of a difference that makes for myself.
Yeah. How are you in your 20s or early 30s?
I'm 26.
Okay, so yeah, kudos to you. First of all, the Marines. I remember seeing that commercial. We do more by 9 a.m. than most people do all day. I'm like, yeah, right. I want to join that. That sounds awful. So, but no, thanks for what you did. And 26, wow, to make such a, 26, you're not a kid, and you're a man. You're in the Marines for the love of God. But still, at 26, you got a whole lot of life, in front of you, and the thought of never drinking again could be, could really be, just don't think about the future. Think about today, and do go a year. Because if it was, like I say in the beginning of every show, how do you know if you have a drinking problem? If it causes problems. And have you ever been arrested?
No. It's been close. I've actually
DUI. You've had a DUI? Well, you would have been arrested if you had a DUI.
Well, yeah. Actually, there was this one story that kind of woke me up a little bit. But long. I was about 23 or so, and I was driving home from the bar. A police officer pulled me over of suspected DUI, and I just kind of, he didn't breathalyze me. If he did, I would have definitely been arrested. But I actually ended up passing all the little standard tests, the field tests or whatnot. May or not, he might have caught that I was in the military at one point, and he just sort of let me go. He didn't breathalyze me because I seemed competent enough at the time. But that kind of woke me up. I was definitely, as he left and pulled away, heart was racing 100 miles an hour. And that was kind of my first thought that this might be an issue.
I've been pulled over 3 times and gotten off. Did I lose you?
Wow.
Yeah, I thought I heard a hang up. And 2 were because they knew who I was, and I got really lucky. And yeah, wow. So you're 20 days in, and have you ever done rehab or a treatment facility or detox or anything?
No, I've never done any of that before. It's definitely something I would be interested in trying one day, maybe going to some AA meetings but right now, I guess COVID over in Florida, it's everything's kind of shut down, so we have to do things online or by call.
Yeah, Zoom. Google Zoom AA meetings. You can find an AA meeting at the top of every hour anywhere in the country. And if you ever do decide you want some help and need some some help navigating through a facility. I know Florida has a lot of great facilities down there. James just got someone in to a facility in Florida, so we can kind of help you guide when if and when you get to that point. But definitely check out the Zoom meetings,
Hmm.
in on Google, just Zoom AA.
Oh, that's actually clever. I never knew that about.
No, I love it. I love it. The people who love the in-person meetings don't care for it a whole lot, but I like it a lot. I really do. Um,
Oh,
well,
excellent.
brother. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything that you would like to anything else you want to touch on, or any questions that you may have asked? You want to ask?
Um, sure. I mean, when it comes to, I guess trying to start something different, the reason I wanted to do it wasn't necessarily the case of quitting forever. But it would be great if maybe that was something that would happen down the roads. But as Autumn said previously, you do want to do it for you, and I think I'm doing it for me because I just want to see where I'm going to end up towards the end of the year and just save as much as I can and not blow hundreds of dollars a week on, on things that won't give you any benefit.
Have you ever heard about the app? I don't know the name of it, but you could probably Google it, or it will. You could, like, every time you would normally go to a bar or go to buy a 12 pack or whatever you would buy, you put it in
Hmm.
there, and it tells you at the end, it tells you how much money you saved that month or that week. And geez, I could have bought a really yeah, I know what I can buy. I mean, I was spending, because I go out and I buy everybody else's drinks, so I was spending,
Right.
700 to $1,000 a month easily on alcohol. It's a
Oh,
waste.
right.
It's a
Yeah, I do have
waste of
one
money and waste
app
of life. What
downloaded.
do what now?
Yeah, I do have this one app downloaded. It's more so just kind of keeps track of how long, it's been since you last done something, and it's called NOMO.
Okay.
Basically just, it lets you, has different sobriety clocks you can use, rather if it's just drinking or any type of drugs, cigarettes. It can be anything.
Right.
And then it'll just keep track of it for you, of how many days, weeks, months.
Right. Oh, yeah. It's when you look back, man, it's disgusting, and you go, oh my gosh, it's thousands, tens of thousands of dollars over the years. And I mean, I remember when I was your age, I had good times, but I knew when I was 22 years old that I was an alcoholic. I knew from
Oh,
the moment
absolutely.
it touched my lips that I like this. I'm self-medicating with this, probably a lot more than probably what I should, and
Hmm.
just loved it. Just
Yeah,
absolutely loved
absolutely.
it. Yeah.
In the military, it was a big thing. You get back from a deployment or from the field or just any given excuse. We would always be, hanging out with our people in the barracks and just
Yeah.
doing whatever. And that's kind of how it started for me. But
Have you joined our private group? If you go to the Facebook page here, it's Sober Talk Live, and
mm,
it's a group. Join group. We have a girl, Michelle Hutton, and Michelle is a military, and she's been through the ringer about. She's sober now, but she's definitely someone worth talking with, and she's a cool chick. Well, all the folks in our private group are. A lot of them are AA folks. A lot of them, like, can't stand AA, or we don't care here on Sober Talk. Whatever works for you. And man,
oh,
we love hearing about ways that it can help, other things that you're doing to help you. I'm doing Sober Talk, like like you said earlier in the call. You said you kind of made an announcement that you were stopping this because you wanted to be held accountable. And
right,
and,
right,
and that
absolutely.
and that's kind of what I did that 2 or 3 times, and I used to go to AA back in the day, and then people come out and see my show, and I'll be having a beer on stage, and I feel like an idiot. But
Yeah,
well, brother, thank you so much. We're getting a lot of people who are struggling tonight they want me to call them. So I'm going to, if there's nothing else,
perfect.
I'm going to call some more folks here and just and see what's going on with some folks. All right.
Excellent. Big fan of yours. Appreciate what you're doing.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was a cool dude. I love the military people, especially young like that, and they get their crap together, and they know they have an issue so young. Geez, 26 years old. That's okay. This is Dan. Let's see if Dan's going to pick up.
Hello.
Hey, Dan, it's Tom Mabe with Sober Talk. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Tom?
I'm well. I'm well. What's going on with you?
Well, I've been listening in and enjoyed what I've heard so far, and just kind of wanted to share a little bit where my life has been, and
Okay.
over the several years. Recently just had 3 years sobriety at December 7th
Congrats.
of last. Yeah, and I remember that day because it's Pearl Harbor Day, and God dropped a bomb on me, and and pretty much he sobered me up. But
Yeah.
it was a very rough lifestyle. It was one of those closet, alcoholics. Alcohol is my choice. God willing, I didn't get involved in any of the other stuff, but very well could have. I just never did ever venture into that. So,
Right.
but my sobriety, I didn't go to rehab. I didn't seek out any professional help really. It really came down to the point where I was laying in bed one night, and up to that point, within 6 months prior to that, I'm living with a blood pressure of 200 over 130 on a daily basis. Right.
I
at
recognize
the stroke level.
those numbers, Dan. Those I recognize. Yeah, I've been there. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. And one night, it was on the 6th of December. I laid in bed, and of course I had my bottle with me and my whiskey bottle, and I said, God, you've got to do something. I can't do this anymore. I'm done with this. You either change me, or you change my body, or change my life, or I'm going to be dead. Well, that next day I went out to the local Meijer store, and I'm walking along pushing my cart, and never had a hangover. I mean, I drank, up until the time I passed out at home, and never really had a hangover. But I was pushing my cart, and next thing you know, I started feeling really funny, and started sweating, started feeling just really weird, and I kind of leaned over onto a cold, where the meat and everything was. I sat down on the side of this meat counter, and this lady looked at me and said, "Sir, are you okay?" I said, I don't really know, So I made it to the checkout, made it to the car. Luckily, I made it home driving, and checked my blood pressure when I got home. It was 70 over 52 or something like that.
Wow. So it went from like 2 over to 120 to 70 over 52. That's low, right?
Yes, very low.
Yeah.
This was on a Saturday,
All right.
and I called a friend of mine who's a physician. Well, she's retired, but I called her and I said, "Look, what's going on here?" And I've been taking blood pressure medicine for 20 years, and even with the blood pressure medicine, drinking it really doesn't do a whole. It's kind of stupidity is what it is, and that's what alcoholism is. But she said, "Don't take your blood pressure medicine." She said, "You get to your doctor first thing Monday. If it stays low like this, don't take it." Well, that Monday I went to my doctor, and that night I didn't drink. I did not drink that night. And Sunday night I didn't drink either. Monday I get to the doctor. He takes my blood pressure. It's 118 over 62.
That's beautiful.
And
That's beautiful.
He looked at me. He said, "What have you been taking your medicine?" I said, "No," and I explained to him what happened, and he didn't even know about my drinking problem. This whole time, he never had it. Well, he never told me he knew. If you know what I'm saying, but I think they
know,
do.
I bet, right?
Yeah,
I don't think they would.
But from that day forward, I've not taken another blood pressure pill.
Have you drank since that December 7th?
I have not. I've not touched another drop.
So let me ask you something. You think you had a spiritual awakening? You think that night when you were sitting there, did you come to believe that a power greater than yourself could restore you back to sanity? Do you think that's?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It was a God thing, and some people might have a little different view of their way they get their sobriety, but mine was a pure spiritual God thing.
And a lot of people have a problem with, when they made a decision to turn their will, Lord, and lives over to God or how we understand Him, or and
right,
and like
right.
me, I'm a religious guy. But I'm like, what if God's taking the credit for someone else's work, especially in finding all these other spaceships made out of material from that's not from this earth, all this Pentagon. I question everything, but I do believe there's a power greater than me, and I do believe in God, but I also believe in nature and the universe. So my higher power is both God but even in the steps, it says we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand Him or her. So that's interesting. And I don't talk much. I mean, I'm an AA guy, and I'm stumbling through it. I'm like 6 months in. So, but that's pretty damn cool. That's because I remember asking God a lot of times, like, God, you got to help me. I'm sitting there crying in bed. I'm like, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. And I'm sitting there like, I couldn't make up and I'm like, God, I prayed every night for, like, please help me. Please help me.
I know.
Yeah.
And I had done that many times before, but, there was still part of me deep down that just wasn't ready to let go of that. This came to a point where I was so fed up. I was so sick and tired of, worrying about, hey, am I going to have that bottle on, at the time, back then in Indiana, you couldn't buy alcohol on Sunday. So on the weekends, it was like when Sunday rolls around, oh gosh, I got to make sure I've got that for Sunday night.
And you still got to buy warm beer, right? They don't sell cold beer. I remember driving up.
They do now, apparently, I guess.
Well, back when I was on the road, I would like freaking. I'll be totally honest. I would get it. This sucks, folks. Don't. God, this is why I'm sober now. But I would buy warm beer and then go right next door to the McDonald's at the drive-thru and order a hamburger and ice water, lots of ice, and pour the water out and pour the beer in the ice. And I have a McDonald's cop right by. Hey, what's going on, man? And I hold up.
Yeah. It's insanity.
Cunning,
it really is.
Baffling, powerful.
Yes, it is. And, I feel for everyone that's going through this or is going through it or have gone through it. And they know what we're talking about because, physically we know we're hurting ourselves. I mean, by the grace of God, my liver's not served with onions at some restaurant somewhere now.
A dear friend of mine is having a liver transplant today, and I haven't heard. But I'm afraid to check his brother's Facebook. I don't know if that's how bad that is.
It's a scary thing, and and I'm not talking. My drinking was just a little while in my lifetime. I mean, it's from the time I was 18 years of age until I was, I'm 52 now, so until I was 49, there was very little breaks in between, if any. And it progressed. It didn't start out like I was drinking hardcore whiskey from day one.
Right.
No, it started out with, beer and, crazy on the, when we were younger, it's like, heck, we could party all night and get up the next morning and everything was great, but it progressively got worse and worse and worse. And, I was sick of it. It was a spiritual thing. And I remember that night. And like I say, I remember the day because it was Pearl Harbor Day of all days, and, when Pearl Harbor Day comes around, I think about, hey, that's another year, and and it's a day by day thing. It's a day by day thing. But
did you ever work? Did you ever work the steps? Did you go to AA or anything?
No.
Gotcha.
Well, I take that back. I did go to AA some when I was still drinking, and I did. But it was always just kind of, for me, it just wasn't for me. I mean, but it I'm not saying it's not for, everyone. It can be, it depends on the person.
It depends on the meeting and depends on getting the right sponsor. Like, my sponsor is ADD like me, so he gets it. And he gets me, so just finding that right sponsor. Well, Dan, we're running late here, and I got a few other people to bring up here. Is there anything else you need to wrap up with, or are we good? Go ahead.
I just want to say that the people that are out there struggling, there is hope, and there's no obstacle too big that you can't overcome. And one thing that I just real quickly, I'll tell you what I did after all this happened was when I would drive by the liquor store, I still do it. I'll drive by and I'll put my middle finger up and flip it off and just say, you know what, you. And, and then I drive on.
Yeah.
And, that for me, that works for me. It may not for anybody else on the planet, but it works for me. So, well, Tom, blessings to you, and it's great what you're doing, and I'm happy to be able to share what I shared. So.
Well, Dan, keep on watching. Join our private group, and people will have questions for you in there, and maybe you can help someone out who's struggling in the private group. It's a free group. It's on my Facebook page, Sober Talk Live. And all right, brother, appreciate you.
All right, blessings. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. We are calling our next caller. And let's see. This is, let's see who this is. It's Justin. And that was Dan. He has been 3 years sober. What did he say? Was it December 7th he got sober for Pearl Harbor Day?
Your call has been for.
Okay, so Justin is not picking. That's people they want to call in, and they want us to call them. Let's try this person, because I spoke with this person today, and I just want to see how she's doing. She was struggling earlier today, and I just want to say hi to her real fast and see if she picks up. She was not in a good place, and I'd rather not have someone who's totally wasted. But whoever needs help, and we're just a group of misfits here, as Caddy calls it. We're a bunch of monkeys, barrel monkeys. I love that. That was a great. So I think she. I didn't think after I spoke with her today, I didn't think she's going to be awake that long. Let's give Connor a call. See what he has. If you guys recognize, if you see a 502-552 number, that's me calling. It's different than the number that you texted. So that's okay. Hold on. Let's see here. Who's this? This is Oh, I'm still finishing up. Hold on. That's I don't know who that is. Boy, I love this line. Carrie, I wish we did have this on the up on the computer, because it would be bigger for me to see. And guys, thanks again for tuning in to Sober Talk. Your one-stop shop for drug and alcohol abuse. Okay, good deal. So, anywho, so 4, 3, 3.
Hello.
Hey, is this Connor?
Hey, what's up, Tom?
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm not an alcoholic. You want to take a shot with me?
All right. No, I don't. You can go and do a shot. Did you want to do a shot? Go ahead, buddy.
Okay.
So are you? So you're not okay, but you're not struggling with anything right now, is what you're saying.
Oh no, I was just a fan of your comedian, like your comedy.
Cool, buddy. Well, hey, let me call someone who needs some help right now. I'll talk to you down the road, all right, brother?
All right, bye.
Bye. That's funny. Let's see. This is. Sorry, I'm just. Let me see if this guy wants to go live. So, guys, again, if you do take CBD, do me a favor and check out our sponsor. It's at KYSBestHemp.com. That's KYSBestHemp.com. And if you use promo code TOM30 upon checking out, and Google whatever is bothering you. I can't say much about CBD, but I own a CBD shop. I love KYS's product. KYSBestHemp.com, promo code TOM30 upon checking out, and you can save 30%. And there's the website right there on that TV. So let's try this guy here. See if there's let's see here. If what's happening is that we're getting people who are let's see, 396. Maybe this guy just gave me my own number. I don't know. If this phone starts ringing from this phone, then I know someone just might have given it to me. Hey, Darren, it's Tom
Hello.
Mabe. Hey, Darren, it's Tom with Sober Talk. How you doing, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing? Tell us your story. What's happening?
Doing good, man. Man, I'm a fairly young guy. I'm not as old as you. And I think sometimes, people often judge books by their covers. You know what I mean? I've been a huge fan of yours for so long, and
How old are you?
all right, I'm 31.
Okay. All right. So never in a million years, what?
So never in a million years would I've thought by watching you and things like that you maybe would have had an addiction issue or drinking issue or anything of that nature.
Okay.
So pretty much kind of resorts to my story of what a lot of people always thought of me for several years. I led this crazy, dark, deep addiction of painkillers, excessive, just whatever I can get my hands on. But I hid it so well, even from my family. I mean, my family never knew. Friends never knew. You see somebody and you think, man, they just got to life. They're good to go. But deep down inside, people fight things that no one knows about. So it really, really took me, rock bottom to really overcome this and get out of this hell that I was personally living in. And I just remember it's been 4 years on December 4th. So
and you were doing pain pills and alcohol, or just pain pills?
Pain pills, anything.
You're a garbage
not really
can.
The alcohol, garbage can. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and when I kind of came out and told everybody what was going on, everybody was really in shock. Just didn't really believe it at first. But it was really eye opening, because now that I'm where I'm at in my life, I look around and you see people and you hear people's stories, and you really just never need to judge a book by its cover, ever. And I see it with homeless people all the time, because I'll stop randomly and talk to homeless people, give them a couple dollars and things like that, and surprisingly few, not all, are really not in an addiction state. They're just in a bad state in their life, period.
Well, a lot of the homelessness, they got the mental issues and the addiction issues. I work a whole lot with homeless facilities and whatnot. I got a passion for that, and until we address the mental issues and the addiction issues that are homeless, I work quite a bit out west, and boy, you want to see an extremely, especially now with COVID, how bad homelessness is an addiction. Go check out Los Angeles. It's really bad. So how did you get clean? Did you cold turkey it, and how hard was it?
Well, what I ended up doing is I came clean to my family, and I knew I couldn't do this alone. I knew I couldn't sit in the house locked up and do it alone. I knew I needed to try to find a different route. So personally for me, I went, in my opinion, to one of the best facilities in Louisville. I did go here in my hometown where I live to the Brook DuPont.
Yeah, I've driven by there many a times.
I know a lot of people may have things to say or mixed emotions or anything. I can just honestly say for myself, the staff there was amazing. I was treated extremely well.
How long did you stay? How long did you stay in a facility? Tell me how long you stayed in the facility.
I stayed in the facility for 14 days. I stayed in the facility for long enough for myself to detox and kind of start to get my mind in an area where I needed to get it. What really ended up lighting a fire under my butt was I was towards the end of my stay, and a counselor asked me, what was I going to do when I got out? I explained to the counselor I was going to go back. I was going to pick back up at my job, and I was going to build myself, and I was going to come out bigger and stronger than before. He quickly told me that I would fail immediately if I did not get out and go to a meeting. 1 meeting, 2 meetings, sometimes 3 meetings a day. So what this did for me is this kind of lit a fire under my butt to say, this person thinks I'm going to fail, and I'm not going to fail. So it gave me such a drive and a determination to try to prove everyone around me wrong that I know it's not for everybody. And I honestly cannot say, speak for anyone else except for myself. But since the day that I've walked out of that facility, I have yet to go to a meeting, and I have yet to try to do anything personally to work on myself. It was the weirdest thing. I don't know if it was a spiritual thing or what it could be, but I have been happy. I have been clean. I have been sober for 4 years since, like I said, December.
Can I counteract that? Can I counteract what you're saying?
Yeah.
So, have you had any? How long you been clean now? 3 years? How long has it been?
4 years.
4 years.
Yep.
Have you faced any real in the past 4 years? Have you faced anything that extremely challenging, like a death, a murder, a loss of someone you loved, a breakup, a divorce? In 4 years, have you faced anything like really, really bad?
Now, honestly, I can say no to that. The major challenging things that I have faced have actually been uplifting things. More or less, I had a son. I've got a 3-year-old son now. The girl that I was currently dating at the time when this happened, I came out to and told everything with only us about 3 months in dating. We are now married. She stuck by me through thick and thin of everything. I have not had to deal with anything detrimental.
All right. Well, let me finish. Here's why I asked that before, because one of my best friends, Dennis Rohde, when his son Alex was 3, found out he had leukemia, and then Alex's mother, or let's all right, we can't go there. But what happens if you are really, really faced with a divorce or something? Do you have the tools in your back pocket to deal with anything? That's why people say, so we drink to self-medicate. And like with me, the drinking became a bigger problem than problems I was dealing with. So I quit drinking many times. I quit for 2 years the last time I quit. But I never fixed me. And then when I was hit, I remember when I fell off the wagon once, I was like 9 months in, someone had made a whole lot of money off of some of my content. And I was like, God, I can't win for losing. Why do these people free boot my stuff? And they make, I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. And there's nothing it's a wild, wild west out there at the time with social media. And so I think the guy at the Brook, why he was telling you that is that if you do get hit with finding out, something bad, your kid gets sick, your wife's cheating or something, and I hope and pray to God none of that happens. Either of those happens, but I'm just saying it could. I gotta take there's some guy who's been, and we're almost out of time, but man, I'm so happy for you. But man, I really, really want to say, keep on watching things like this. Go try out a Zoom AA meeting, or I'm just saying, because we drink to deal with an issue. The drinking and the drugging is not the issue. We're the issue. That's just self-medicating. That's just a symptom of what we got going on. So you've been lucky. That's nothing's happened in the past 4 years. But if it does happen, you may desperately need something. Hell, I fell off because I couldn't go out and leave my house for COVID. I didn't have the tools to deal with that. So
right.
All right, brother. Right. Well, thank you so much.
I do appreciate it, Tom. Thank you, buddy.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Bye.
And Carl's really thinking that Jeff should get a new co-host. He's really liking this guy here, and I don't know. Maybe we have to get that guy on the show. But Carl is officially banned from Sober Talk for 4 days. He's in timeout. Love you, Carl. Teasing. So let's see here. There was someone else who really desperately wanted me to call them, and I want to call to see how they're holding up. And let's see what we got here. And is it freezing up a whole lot, guys? We thought we had that fixed. We really thought we had that fixed. Carrie spent all day here yesterday, and I happened to look down and saw that the video was kind of acting suspect. And I think it could be just all the cameras we have going on. and things like that.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. The number you dialed has been changed. Disconnected.
Someone got so nervous about being a sober talk they changed her number in the past 10 minutes. Or I'm just old and I can't see. The guy kind of pissed me off. He said, I'm older. I'm not as old as you, but I'm old. That's why I cut him off. No, don't make fun of my age, or I'll cut you off. Tease him. All right. Jeff, are you watching? Is Jeff on here?
Hello.
Hey, buddy, it's Tom from Sober Talk. How are you, David?
Pretty good right now.
All right. Do you? Is it a bad time? I got a text from you. I didn't know if you needed to talk. We are live. We can talk another time. Are you okay?
No. Yeah, I'm good, Tom.
Okay. What's going on with yourself? Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm 41 years old,
Okay.
and I've been using alcohol since probably 12 or 13 years old.
Have you ever quit? For any length of time?
No. Maybe a week at the longest.
Okay. And has it affected your life in any way? They say, I say this 10 times a show. How do you know if you have a drinking problem? Has it caused problems? Your drinking, health, marriage, work, the law?
Well, I mean, I've been in trouble with the law twice over it, but nothing major.
Okay.
And I got 2 kids. One's going to college, and she's a 4.0 student. I got another son that he's awesome at welding. He's going places.
So what?
And I got a wife that loves me, but I cannot kick it for some reason.
No, that's you can't at this. And how much are you drinking a day, David?
I can easily knock about 18.
18 beers?
Yeah, and still be fine.
Have you been to the doctor in recent memory to get blood work or anything like that?
Oh yeah. I went and
How's he say you're doing?
he said everything looks fine.
Huh.
My liver and enzymes and all that's good, and he tells me to slow down. I'm sure doctors are gonna tell you to slow down, but I can't get into the AA stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like being around a bunch of people.
Yeah. Well, you should come to my shows. There's no one ever there. It's just kind of me and a couple folks, usually friends or relatives.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anywho,
but I mean, I'd really like to kick it. Love to kick it.
So, but
that's a lot of money. I'm just throwing away.
Oh, so that's okay. So let me ask you this: have your kids ever said, "Dad, worried about you"? Kind of. I mean, it doesn't sound. It sounds like you're drinking beer and you're not getting too drunk around them, or are you getting too drunk? Has your wife or your kids ever said anything about your drinking?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and a lot of times, my wife always said it was true. You love the alcohol more than you love me and the kids. And I said, yeah, you are, but now it's to the point where I can't kick it. I can't do it. I had to go to the doctor. I had to get some help from people who knew what they were doing. And it sounds like, and you can die when you quit. You can really, really die from quitting benzos and quitting alcohol. And I don't know how you drink 18 beers a day. Are you on blood pressure medicine?
No, my blood pressure is perfectly fine, but I do take Xanax. And
you or your doctor is full of shit. I'm not buying this. 18 beers a day, and he says your enzymes are fine. You're fine. Just maybe you're one of the lucky ones. Maybe you can. I don't know, brother.
I'm telling you, the last time I was at the doctor was 2020, and I had blood work done, and everything was fine.
You work out a lot? How are you heavy set or anything?
No, I'm 6'1", 230.
Yeah, you might about
And
I'm 6'4", 222 right now. Baby
you know,
blue
I mean,
eyes,
I
luxurious
bust
hair.
my ass all day long. I go at it all day long at work,
Okay. Okay. Well, man.
But I'm very, very, very tired of just, every day. It's just like well, here, stop by the store. You gotta get some beer. Gotta have beer. So I can go home and rest.
And the longest you've gone since you were 14 years old is a week without drinking.
Well, I was laid up in the hospital for a month with a knee injury, so.
But you're drinking in the hospital, or did you drink?
No,
did you go?
I
Oh,
wasn't
you went a month without. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Guys, chime in
and
here. Go ahead.
And the only reason I got through that was because I was on a morphine drip.
Yeah. Right.
Button.
And you're 41 years old. Does people are asking, does it affect your life besides being tired? It affects your pocketbook, right?
Oh yeah, it definitely affects my pocketbook. I mean, you're talking $20 a day, easy, if not more.
Okay. So that's what's that? Is
being
that 600 a month, and
yeah.
That's a nice new F-150. That's
Well, I just bought a new Silverado, so
see, you're okay. No. You're okay then. But your daughter is 4.0. She's going off to college. She's going to get some kind of a little bit of a scholarship, but it may not 100%. She's going to need some money for that. The 4.0.
Well, she's already in college.
Is she? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Her first semester, she got 4.0. So
nice. What you have you? What I mean, if you think about $600 a month, that's a nice piece of rental property. That's just, but it will catch up. It will catch up with you.
Don't think I don't think about it every night while I'm trying to go to sleep. You know.
Are you? So he called in. He's interested in changing. Good. That's enough. Someone's saying, what is it that you like to do next? You would like to stop, right?
I'd like to just quit cold turkey, just be done.
Are you a veteran? You got Medicare? You got insurance? You got any kind of benefits or anything, or you can't?
Yeah, I got health insurance.
Okay. 27. You look. I think you're a Kentucky boy. Sounds like.
Yeah, you damn right. I just live. I probably don't live 100 miles from him.
Yeah, you probably like that Lake Cumberland quite a bit too. It's good. I like.
Kentucky Lake.
Yeah. I recognize the area code. So you can't quit cold turkey. No one can be drinking 18, 20 beers a day and quit cold turkey. You need to go to your doctor. You need to talk to Jeff, my co-host. Not nearly as good as I am, or funny, or good looking. Ask Carl. I'm teasing. He's watching right now. That's why I said that, David. But Jeff checked into a 7-day facility to detox. It's changed his world. He drank as much as you did, and you haven't hit a rock bottom. You just don't have a. Beth Gomez says I called him, but no, he texted me, wanted me to call him, guys. Someone said, but you have to talk with your doctor and say, hey, look, I never told you this. I'm a good old Kentucky boy. I love my beer. And when I told my doctor, he said, yeah, me too. I'm like 2 bottles of wine a night. So doctors, medical facility people are a lot of drunks and addicts in that world. So just be honest. Be honest with your doctor and say, I really want to quit. I don't want to quit cold turkey. Can you advise me on what path to go? And this is my number I called you on off the air. You can text me, and we can have a real heart-to-heart. I could talk to you about things that you probably don't want me bringing up here live. So, but I do think that you're 41, and I wish I quit when I was 41. But the money, it's a waste of money.
There's a lot of stuff I got in my past that brung it back. Like, I used to just be like a social drinker, every now and then, every day with boys, and then some family matters happened, and it just ramped up from there.
The reason why a lot of the alcoholism is a direct result of some kind of trauma in our childhood, or even abandonment with a dad or something. So I don't know how, and traumas are different levels. I'm not saying that you had, I don't know what your level of trauma, but we do drink to self-medicate for a reason, to push those memories back.
I can guarantee you I drink to self-medicate.
Yeah. Everyone does.
So I can go to bed.
Yeah. We drink. It's called restless, irritable, and discontent, and our wheels get spinning, and you start thinking about old thing or or your mom or your dad or an uncle or a job that screwed you over or something, and you just start pounding beers to numb it. And then one day, I promise you, you're not going to go to the doctor one day. He go, oh, your enzymes are fine. He's going to go, hey, dude, you got cirrhosis of the liver. Hey, you got alcohol-induced cardiomyopathy. Or, hey, dude, your blood pressure, this may not be reversible. It will catch up with you. 18 beers a day but the drinking is not the problem. It's something in your head, in your past is the problem. So you got to fix that before you say you're not into AA. There's other things out there. There really are other things out there. This group, our private group, I love going to Zoom meetings on AA. I just Google Zoom AA, and there's a meeting starting at the top of every hour all around the world. At 3:00 in the morning, you can find a meeting in Australia or wherever, or Los Angeles, and I'll just mute myself and not show my picture or my face, and I'll just listen. So that's definitely something. And I really think, is there a chance you could try a different doctor just to get a second opinion?
Well, I mean, the way the world is right now, it's even hard to get in to see my doctor,
Yeah, those are excuses, but 2 months down the road after everybody has a vaccine or whatever, I just think, look, on our Carrie just posted, join our private Facebook group here, and we have a private group. And if you're wanting a community that's not AA and you just want people to reach out to you, hey, man, you sound like me. I mean, again, my co-host, Jeff Graham, is, he 18 beer. Maybe, hell, he might have gone to a case. You have to talk to him. But he's, you have to talk to your doctor and don't underplay it. I remember my doctor saying, well, I'll drink two bottles of wine, And he told me I wasn't an alcoholic. He said I just had extreme ADD. And I said, no, I drank to deal with the ADD. So I had to find a different doctor. So, but join our private group. Is there anything else you'd like? I need to wrap up. I'm 15 minutes over here. But anything else going on that you want to talk about?
I just appreciate you calling me back. And
no
I mean,
worries.
I like watching it.
Well, watch it, and
see what other people are going through. Maybe there's somebody else out there like me that
Yeah, well, here's Nathan Michael. He just made a comment. He said, I've been drinking almost every day for the past 2 or 3 years. I want to stop. Was about to get some beer tonight, but watching and listening, I think it has changed my mind. Thank you, Sober Talk. Nathan, send us your number. We'll call you real fast. That's Nathan Michaels. Well, Brother David, thank you so much for sending me that text. And I love to stay in touch with you, and we'll keep on watching, and text me on that number anytime. I need to have this number memorized. Carrie, is it not? It was pinned to the top, and now it's not pinned to the top. But Carrie, post our. Well, she's not listening now. So if anybody has the hotline number, it's in the description. In the description of this Sober Talk, you can. All right, brother. Well, good luck to you, and I'll talk with you down the road.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, David. We'll see you. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I think his doctor is just a little bit not good for him. I don't see how you get it. Well, first of all, he's got to tell his doctor about it. Guys, I'm sorry. I tried some new product someone left in the makeup room in there, and I wish I never had. But the Sober Talk hotline is 396-8374. Text us your name and number, and 396-8374, and we can. And I have a question as to how you become. This is a text I just got. How do you have become sober in your profession, especially? I don't consider myself a drunk, but I'm definitely an alcoholic. Hold on. So this lady said that she says, I have a question. As how do you have become sober at the professional, at your profession, especially? He's talking about I'm a comedian. I don't consider myself a drunk, but I'm definitely an alcoholic. Well, if I didn't become sober, I wouldn't have a profession. That's the issue. That's something we got to talk about right there. But and this is well, cool, guys. Well, I think that we're all caught up, and thanks for watching Sober Talk, and we'll see you next time. Tune in to see Jeff tomorrow night, and be sure to tune in on Tuesdays and Thursdays to see Jeff. Now, when you guys, one thing I love about Jeff's show is a totally different approach, and he has when I go live, it goes out to my comedy pages. So we have, like you heard the callers that came in. Hey man, I'm a big fan. You want to do a shot? And just being an ass. But Jeff gets, if he has, if we get 1,000 views on it, those are all people who need to talk about their addiction or their alcoholism. So definitely watch Jeff tomorrow night, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Jeff will be down on Wednesday. And James is going to be back on Friday. Hopefully, he has his wife's going out of town, so we may have a couple little co-hosts over here, 7, 8-year-old girls. So, all right, love you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I do need a haircut. Jackie, if you're watching, I need to come see you like ASAP. I got a text about 40 minutes ago, Jackie saying, you need a haircut. Yes, I'll come see you, Jackie. It's hilarious. Hey guys, don't forget to do me a favor. Check out KYSBestHemp.com. That's KYSBestHemp.com. They're giving us a little money to give them shout outs, and helps out with Jeff's gas and things like that coming down to Louisville, and helps pay our little staff that we got. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.